right, let's try this again. We lost connection there. We're back.
Take two?
Take two. Gotta love
Live
technology. All right, I'm Lynne from Transcona CrossFit, head coach and owner of it.
Tanya Clarke here, creator of Comfy Mom Fashions.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm exhausted. I'm like, fuck, I could explain it, but I will explain it. ComfyMomFashions.com, guys. Go check that out. It is a weekly blog that I host, and I'm a certified life coach. So it's anywhere. It's basically modeling how to balance all areas of life. Okay. So check that out. Connect with me. I'm a Indigenous public speaker, and I travel and I do workshops and I do local workshops, and I love it oh so much.
Oh, so much.
And let's just talk about me today. I'm just kidding.
Well,
sorry about that.
It takes 10 minutes to introduce your title, so.
I know, I'm still working on it.
All right, good. All right, so for those of you guys who have kind of been following the page, we've been promoting a lot of our Soulgasm event that we had the other day, and we had Dan King live at the gym. And that was ridiculous, amazing. The energy was awesome, and he had a lot of good things to say. So we're going to kind of piggyback off of what he said and kind of continue that trend.
Sorry.
That's some nails there.
Sorry, sweetie.
So, yeah, let's go with that. You have some notes you want to talk about?
I do.
All right, let's start with your notes.
Okay, so one thing that stood out with me, and I was totally going to interrupt him as he was talking, but I know you can't do that.
No.
So I wrote it down. And the very first thing that stood out to me, and I totally grabbed onto, was he said, "Tell me what needs to be healed daily and watch what comes up." So that is an extremely important process for all of you guys who attended the Dan King workshop that you guys can take away. So maybe you can go into detail. Do you remember when he said that?
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on that?
Okay, read it one more time.
It basically said, you're talking to your infinite knowledge.
Yeah.
Prior to when he said this, he talks that we already know all this information. We're just reminding you.
Yeah, like I think when he had mentioned that, like it was pretty powerful. Actually, I think when he said that, I kind of got like goosebumps everywhere. Mm-hmm. And a couple of the members that were there had actually said the same thing, that they kind of felt like this like shiver up their spine a few times. And I think when you sit there, and so the basic thing is we were talking, and the one theme that I kind of wanted him to touch on was really trying to find passions. And I can't remember the other thing that I had asked him to talk about, but it was definitely how do you find passions? But he kind of said, well, you can't find your passions if you're not knowing how to be who you are, right? So a lot of people are always asking, well, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I like to do. We just do. They just do things. So I like that quote in the sense that you kind of have to know where you are now, so that, well, and we say this all the time in the Invest in Yourself, you have to know where you are now to know where you are going to go. And I think a lot of the times we have so much pain and we have so much hurt from the past that we've either learned to just sweep away or bury it so much that it doesn't affect us. And I think that's that kind of that anchor that holds us down. So I really liked when he said that. I thought that
Absolutely.
was really cool.
I personally, that's probably the biggest step in my practice when people sign up with me is, okay, let's get down and dirty. And what does that mean? And something, how do I say it? When I'm doing these workshops, right, I always say there's a disclaimer at the beginning. Warning, you're going to get extremely uncomfortable today. Mm-hmm. That is my goal. My goal is to get you to feel extremely uncomfortable, because when you feel extremely uncomfortable, that means that you're getting to a place of growth. And so that's the huge thing there is, so your body already knows all of this stuff, because we're only conscious of 5% of everything, our infinite knowledge, right? So when we ask our inner beings that specific question, then it'll work itself out. It will answer you. So that question is, tell me, okay, if you have hurt, if you have blocks, any type of blocks. I deal with a lot of fear of being visible. So if you have any type of blocks, maybe it's fear of going for your passion, maybe it's fear of pursuing whatever you want. There's a block. So ask yourself, tell me what needs to be healed daily. Like daily ask yourself what needs to be healed and watch what comes up. Be aware of what comes up for you.
Yeah, because you'll definitely see, like, if you guys open yourselves up to any of those possibilities, then you've just opened up a bunch of streams of different, where you're basically allowing all these different streams to come to you to either heal the past or get familiar with, we've got kids right behind us.
Vinny.
We've got venues that you can heal yourselves.
No, you guys, you can't do that. You can't be out here right now. You got to play basketball in the front because we're live right now.
Gotta love being a parent.
Hello. Hi. I'm Vinny. You are. I am.
That's Vinny. Those are both mine.
Those are both yours. Yeah. So I think when you ask yourself those questions, you open yourself up to receiving answers, and it'll come in all different forms. It'll come in people coming into your lives, opportunities, weird events that kind of all of a sudden are happening to kind of maybe shift you into that moment of aha.
And then the next thing he says is, if you're curious and you're wondering and you're stumped on, well, why the hell do I have to go through such a horrific experience? Then ask yourself, ask your soul, why? What were you supposed to learn? So let's just say, I don't know, you wanted something oh so badly. And usually if you focus on it and you want it really badly and so on and so forth, you want it to happen, right? But sometimes it doesn't happen. But when it doesn't happen, a question that I've always that I've learned to ask myself over the years is, well, maybe I was supposed to experience this. So I had the experience for, a future for something in the future, right? A lot of my experiences, let's just say like you too, even growing up, right? There were some, experience in foster care. I had a death of a parent, a death of a brother, all these really sad, horrific experiences, right? And something that you don't wish upon anyone, and you don't, you wish you could just make it not be there.
Yep.
But there's a reason why I had those experiences, and I wouldn't be who I am and an advocate today without those experiences. But it could happen in many different forms, right?
Yeah.
So if something horrific happens to you, maybe not even horrific, something really disappointing happens to you, and a great way to kind of move forward is just to say to yourself, well, maybe I needed this experience.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a reason.
And it really worked well for it to lead into that, because that night I actually ended up having someone that actually tried to break into my house. So really using those words like, okay, well, there's a reason for this. Nothing happens by accident. I'm a firm believer in that. And I was glad that Dan pointed that out as well. And everything kind of is a sequence of events. Unfortunately, I had my son with me, so there was, I'm not sure, some kind of lesson in there for him, I'm sure. But it really was like being able to get that like anger, like super being mad and scared and kind of going, all right, well, there's a reason for it. A couple days later, it's a little bit easier to process it.
Easier to process.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're thinking, well, what the hell? Like, what kind of positive experience could come from that? Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe he knows how to react. Maybe something was going to happen in the future. Maybe, I don't know, he needed that experience. Maybe you needed that experience.
Maybe. And he got to see a lot of police officers, and he felt a lot safer once the cops had shown up, and, they kind of joked around with him a little bit. They made him feel more at ease. Mm-hmm. I know that for myself, like, I have a dog there, and this dog is he's an amazing guard dog. He's like literally turned into this amazing guard dog. And I think for myself, it was just like a lesson in, well, maybe this is something I can teach my son, because this person supposedly might have been not of sound of mind, basically, and I'm pretty sure this person wasn't, and like, so then it was an opportunity for me to talk to Drake about that and say, like, listen, this is sometimes what happens if you go into that road. Mm-hmm. So who knows where it ends
up. Sometimes the lesson
but
has nothing to do with you, but to somebody close to you, because it affected Vinny.
It affected Vinny. It affected her. She had to come drive around.
I was too scared. I'm like, sorry, you're going to have to stay in the house because I'm too scared to get out of the car.
Which is fine. But, like this. So, I mean, it affected a little bit of chain reaction there. And, but But that I like that line because it was never, anything never happens by.
So yeah, then
accident.
ask your soul why. What were you supposed to learn?
Mm-hmm.
And you can do that. You guys might think this is all freaking crazy shit here, but everything does happen for a reason. It does. And what?
Nothing. I almost spit it everything.
Oh, one other thing that he said there was, it's scientifically proven that darkness cannot overcome light.
Yeah, that was a cool line.
Yeah.
But it's so true, right? I mean, you turn the light on, and I like how he said it. When you turn a light on, it chases darkness away, and that was really cool. And that's the whole thing about facing where you're at. The second you guys acknowledge it and you guys see it, you've just now put a light to it, and now you've taken away. What are you doing? You've now taken away whatever that kind of fear around that darkness might have been. What are you doing?
I was looking to see which basketball they're playing with. The good basketballs out here. No. They're playing with the flat basketball. Anyways. Yeah, it was uber super cool.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He did such a great job.
He always does a good job though. What were we going to talk about before? Remember we were prepping something, and I would really like to talk about that too at some point.
I don't remember. I had texted you yesterday. Now I don't remember. I don't have the notes in front of me. But I really liked that whole, like, facing your fear or facing your.
Let's talk about fears.
Yeah. The one thing I actually got from Dan, which is really cool, because a lot of people say meditation is to quiet your mind. And for the most part, I totally agree with that. But for someone who, like me, who really has an ADD brain, like, I'm always thinking about a million different things. And it's not like it's overwhelming, or I feel like, but it does become a distraction because you don't really know all the time where to go. So what he told me to do was actually take that when my head was going all over the place, and then instead of meditating to quiet my mind, let it play out like a movie, which made a lot of sense to me because that's usually what I end up doing anyways, because I can't focus on one thing. Mm-hmm. I can't focus on just sitting still or doing this or doing that. So it was really cool, and to take notes. I'm still trying to do it, but I think from the events from the other night, I think that rattled me a bit. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I made her focus on something completely different. She wasn't happy with me, but
yeah, no, I was not happy.
No, she wasn't. First, before I even continue, I just want to thank everybody who came out and helped me celebrate my 40th birthday. Mm-hmm. I'm still cleaning up.
Yeah, we still have some cleaning up to do.
But I had a blast. And I really, really appreciate everyone who came out. Like, since I started the gym. Yeah. Were you going to laugh because I said everyone who came out?
No. Only you, baby.
Yeah, I came out.
You did.
Just kidding. Yeah, no, it was seriously an epic day and evening.
It was a lot of fun. There was lots of people here, and it was amazing to see everybody come out, all her family, everybody from the gym. It was and that's what I love about CrossFit and the gym. I don't know if everybody's gym is like this, but definitely here at TCF, everybody just hangs out and has fun, and it really does become a big family environment, and that was a lot of fun to see everybody here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. So thank you very much. No, not yet. Not yet. You don't need to say anything. And then for those of you guys who were here, not yet. Still working on something a little. I'm gonna blow Lynne out of the water. Anyways, so. Yes, huge congratulations to me. I'm 40. What?
40 years old.
Okay, so here's the thing. What did somebody say to me? I think I was doing a workshop last week or something like that, or I was doing something. Anyways, I play a lot. Like, I've always gotten along really well with my nieces because I play with them. Like, I really, not so much my nephews, but I play with my nieces. And that's, I think, part of the reason why you and I get along so well was that we do play, right?
Yeah.
And I was in the gym today, and I found somebody else who plays.
Yeah, Becca.
Me and Becca, we're doing handstands, and oh my God, it was so funny. Like, we humiliated ourselves.
Yeah, it was fun.
We humiliated ourselves. Becca fell on her head.
She fell on her head. Yes, yeah. All right, keep going.
What? Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Tired shoulders.
Yeah, but then I couldn't do like a ring flip or a skin the cat or whatever.
That was funny.
And Like our feet were going up the wall.
I love what?
I love to play too. Yes, see? I love playing. So there was this, I don't know, somebody was surprised about my age. And last year when I was in California, and I said, why do people think that I'm younger than I am? And she's like, I don't know, you look youthful. Like, you don't look like you even have kids. Mm-hmm. But I think it has a lot to do with playing. I think that the younger you feel, the younger you project.
Yep. Well, I absolutely look at my mom. My mom, you'd never know what my mom's age is. And my mom looks like she looks almost 15 years younger than her actual age. Mm-hmm. And she
oh my God, she's always blows me out of the
she's
water.
always picking on her kids. And I don't know if your kids are quite used to that kind of being picked on, but it's a lot of fun. And my mom likes to play a lot too. Mm-hmm. And
anyways, play. Where was I going with that? I was going somewhere with that, but let me just talk about this. There's a huge fear of playing. Mm-hmm. There's a huge fear of playing. What am I going to look like? Am I going to look stupid? There's a huge fear of even going to the gym because, of course, we've talked about this a million times. I need to be in shape in order to go to the gym.
Yeah, I hear that all the time. That'd be crazy.
There's no way that I can handle that. That's too much for me, and so on and so forth. So, well, I don't know if I should throw my daughter under the bus right now, but right now she's scared to come to the gym. She wants it oh so badly, but she's so scared to come.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, let's go with that because I think there's a lot of people at the gym who fear specific things. They either fear a specific, like I have a lot of people who do just a fitness version, which is great. It's a good all around workout and everybody, but there's a fear of the barbells. There's a fear of the handstands. There's a fear of the pull-up rig. And there's a fear there, I think, because people are afraid that they'll never be able to do it or they're never going to get it right or there's a fear that they're going to get hurt. And so they kind of stay with that safety zone. But what I try to do at the gym is I really push hard for some people, and that kind of happened today. I might have pushed a little too hard. But you push these people out of their comfort zone so that they can get further in life. And I think that when like we had a talk yesterday, and stuff that you don't want to face are the things that you need to see right in front of your face, and you need to acknowledge, and you need to go so that you can move past all those things. And same with the gym. So we took one member 2 months ago. I was just telling her the story. So I'm going to actually name bomb her. So Christy, she was for fitness for 2 years. I had her in fitness for 2 years. And finally, 2 months ago, I started pushing her to do CrossFit. And she does it a lot with Lou now. They come to the noon class. And since in 2 months, she's had more PRs and successes and heavier lifts and stuff like that in 2 months doing CrossFit than she has 2 years of all around just fitness conditioning, which is huge. But I had to push her outside of that and kind of say, no, this is what you're doing today. And there's no other choice. Yeah. Right. And there was a big fear there for her. She doesn't want to do barbells. She doesn't want to get her hands all full of calluses and
that's so
princess
funny.
hands and but that's a real thing for some people. The callus is a real thing for people. People don't want like these like happy face calluses that I have. See, look, it's three-eyed happy face.
Yeah, it's gross.
And but there is an actual genuine fear there.
Can I just add something to that though? Like the judgment that we place on ourselves.
Lou says she's scared every time she walks in the gym because she doesn't know how to do something, but she's had to learn that that's okay. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Good call, Lou. I was just going to say that. Sometimes we're so hard on ourselves. We are our biggest critics. And I think this comes up every week we chat. And we're so disappointed in ourselves and we're so angry at ourselves, but we have to get into the habit of talking to ourselves like we talk to our children. If our children had a block or a fear around a barbell or whatever the case is, would we shit on them and tell them how disappointed we are in them? No. I think that the biggest part that I want everybody to take away from this is be easy on yourself. Just keep going. Keep trying. It's okay. Everyone has blocks. There is no perfect person out there. And no matter what level you're at, you will always experience a block in some area, no matter where you are.
And that goes for like, if we're going to stay with CrossFit, you got to stick with even the games athlete. Like the games athletes, they're coming into the CrossFit games. We're about 2 weeks away from the games. And they're going into some events that they have no idea. So imagine you've got a stadium full of people and you're waiting for Castro to announce whatever your workout is, literally 5 minutes before you have to do it. So there's a big fear for those kind of guys. And then the fear for like the everyday person when they're walking in is that they don't know how to do something and that they're either A, going to look stupid, or B, they're going to fail.
Asking for help is absolutely good.
For sure. And I think that it's kind of testing and being okay and saying what she's saying.
There wouldn't be 8 billion people on the planet if we weren't supposed to ask for help, collaborate, work together. Mm-hmm. Seriously, we're not supposed to know how to do it on our own. We're here to interact and collaborate, and it's, you know what I mean? Like, you can never stop learning. Always, always ask. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I think and then learning to be kind to yourself when you do attempt something and go, okay, you know what? I didn't get it today, but there's tomorrow, and you keep practicing, and eventually those things do come. Today was probably the first day that I was able to string 3 or 4 really good toes to bars together. Yeah. And I mean, and I've been doing this for, 5-6 years, and it's finally just today, all of a sudden it clicked.
I was talking to Lynne today too, because I've been back at the gym for maybe a month and a half.
Yeah, I'm about there.
And I did a competition with her once. I used to go there quite a bit, and I was able to do a handstand. Well, like a headstand. What do you call it?
The teddy bear handstand.
The teddy bear handstand, but I'd stood up, right? And I held it for a while. And I think probably 4 weeks ago, I said personal goal to do this again, because I stopped working out for so long, and I put on probably 25, 30 pounds. And I really didn't think, like, I wanted so badly to get back there, but I really didn't think that I would ever get there. And today I did it.
Yeah, she got it done today.
I got it done today, and only 6 weeks in. Mm-hmm. Like, what the shit? I was telling her, I'm like, no, really, feel it. I think it's really muscular. It's really strong.
She was doing some muscle up progressions too today, and I was like, oh, look at the biceps coming out.
And I'm like, oh, take a picture, Lynne. You have to take a picture.
Don't worry about coaching. Just take a picture. No, it's a lot of fun. But and even today, we have a couple of the people from noon class, when I said, well, I really want you guys to do the ring work, the second I said that, they were like, oh, but we don't know how. And
we all wanted to do fitness. We're like, screw this. Just give us something to work and grind out. Never mind any of this new stuff. And no, she got us doing it. Mm-hmm. And we had like such a blast. Yeah. We had so much fun.
So see, sometimes when you just get that extra push, right?
And Marcy smoked us in pistols.
Oh, she totally did. I got 3 PRs in pistols today. Some numbers, so that's awesome.
Marcy's just like, doo-doo-doo. Lifts up her legs and starts doing pistols. Becca and I were like, what the fuck?
So for those of you guys who are watching, if you guys want to comment, let us know something that you guys have had maybe a fear of, and maybe we can kind of talk about that and then kind of go on. Otherwise, let's talk about how we would let's go back to that first part with Dan, where of resurfacing and kind of facing those demons, and how it actually can sometimes benefit you guys, and sometimes how it's not going to like necessarily happen overnight. I think it's that whole, it needs time to work itself out. And then let's talk about like maybe the fear of why we don't want to touch that.
Sure. That's a good one. I have a personal example. Do you have a personal example?
Yep.
Okay. So why don't we share yours?
Start mine?
Why not?
Okay, well, here. I think that's a big long one. I don't know how to say that.
I think for me, anyways, part of the fear is from so many years of being judged for not being able to do something properly, or as well as somebody, hold on here.
Put your glasses on, baby.
Yeah. Or as well as someone else. It takes a lot to get over the fear and trust that the people who seeing you do it, especially stuff in the gym. Absolutely. I completely understand where you're coming from. Where the clothing is not as flattering for myself, or I'm just more self-conscious about it, but to trust that they are not going to judge me. Yeah. Okay, so it's a very hard transition. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing.
That's a huge one, Dawn. Way to go.
I'm totally just going to give Dawn a shout out for being vulnerable. And yes, we have the hour.
And Lou, actually,
so
for sure.
This is the type of stuff that I love. I love it when you guys ask questions and then we can just jump into like literally coaching.
Yeah, coaching. Yes.
So here's the thing. And for those of you guys who don't know, I hold 2 certifications and I'm internationally accredited. I'm definitely, I can coach you guys. Okay. So let's do this. So as for you, Dawn, first of all, shout out for being authentic, because when we get authentic, that's when we're able to grow and grow into who we want to become. And not only that, Dawn, you model it for others, to knowing that it's okay to be authentic and to be the real you. So ultimately, our end result in life is to be happy, right? Mm-hmm. Whether you're happy in the size that you are, whether you're not, right? Like, no, if you're not happy with who you are, the way you are right now, chances are if you lose 50 pounds, something's going to come up where you're not happy.
And Dan even mentioned that on Tuesday.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So how do we get happy with who you are, the way you are? And you're absolutely right, Dawn. Part of probably my daughter's fear is I probably don't look the part. I don't know what to wear. Like, what if I fall on my face like Becca did today? Like, what are people going to think or say about me or whatever? And it's like, oh, it was so fun. I loved that Becca fell on her face because she made it okay for me to try and fall on my face, right? Yeah. And so ultimately getting to the point where you're comfortable getting through that transition.
Yeah.
Right. So that's part of my coaching, is just reflecting. So give me a yay or nay. Like, am I hearing you right? Is this everything that you're saying?
You're going to wait for her to reply?
No, but do you have any?
Yeah. Well, I think for sure, I think what happens, especially in the fitness world, is that there's this thing around fitness that you have to be a size 3 or a size 4, whatever that is. You have to be this specific size. You have to wear this specific clothing. Yeah. You have to look this, you have to look like that. And I think that when everybody has this mainstream media of what fitness is supposed to be, because I mean, look back in the day, like, you know, they always pushed, like when we were kids growing up, it was always that ultra slim fast diet. It was always Weight Watchers. It was always this. So there was always this thing where we were brought up in a world where you had to be like this, and you had to be a specific size, and you had to look a specific way to be a part of a gym. And then I think when you go to specific gyms, there's girls who have just like these super tight clothes on, and I can see how that's intimidating, because when I was first losing the weight, I didn't want to be around girls who were wearing like a bra and, like ditch on, basically. Like, it was tight clothing. But when you guys find a spot, and when you guys decide that there's a place for you guys and you feel comfortable, and you guys can learn to kind of adapt yourself into that process of like, it's okay to be who I am. It's okay to look the way that I am. I love who I am. I love my curves. I love what my body has done for me to this point. It's, it's gotten me here. It's getting me to the gym. Yeah, it's sore. Yeah, it hurts. Yeah, I fucking want to puke every time I'm done a WOD, but it's doing it for me. And how cool is that my body still wants to do this for me, even though, I may have abused it with food or whatever, yeah. Right? So I think when you can get to the point of having gratitude points, I don't even think at that point, it doesn't even matter if you're in that setting where there's, those fitness models are hanging out, because you're happy with who you are at this point, right? You're good with who you are. You know what you're doing, and you've got your own, you're kind of creating your own, well, you're creating self-worth and self-confidence, right? What is Karen saying here?
Let me just, before we go answer Karen, can I just,
Dawn was just agreeing.
Yeah. Okay. So here's my big thing. And here's why I love my coaching and my group coaching. I like one-on-one coaching, but I love group coaching. And here's why. Because take somebody, for example, they stay in their house. They raise their children, and they're with themselves. And they have all these thoughts going through their minds constantly, right? 60,000 plus thoughts a day, constantly going through their mind. Oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough, blah, blah, blah. I'm never going there. I'm never going here. I'm never going there. They live a life of isolation, and then take the ones that actually want to achieve something, and they are brave enough to go out and be in a group or a situation like this. I'm not just talking about the gym. I'm also talking about coaching, like for my coaching. the most common thing that I hear from entrepreneurs when they come into the group is, I didn't realize how lonely I was.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize how lonely I was. And I didn't realize how many other people are going through the same things as me. So when you actually get your ass out of the house and you go to the gym, not only do you have somebody whose biggest passion is to inspire and to believe in you, right? You have somebody believing in you. And I don't care how old you are, we all need that. We all need that. And then you begin to believe in yourself. And then you surround yourself with like-minded people, guys. The law of fellowship, okay? You surround yourself with all these like-minded people. You just create that much more energy. And it's just a fucking tribe. Okay, we evolved in tribes. We evolved living in groups. I mean, there's so many youthful 95-year-olds, people who live till 120, out in Italy, out in this country, in that country, because family and family support and group support is on their highest list. Community, tribe.
And that said, if you're in a community or a tribe or a group of people that are doing the complete opposite of what Tanya just said, then that might be where you're going to have
do you feel good?
Yeah, like make you feel good. Are they supporting you? Are they supporting your dreams? Do they unintentionally sabotage your goal of, well, say for losing weight, and that's the group of people you're always hanging out with, is that's what you did. You went out for pizza, you went out for wings, you did beer nights, you did this, you did this. A lot of people fear having to switch that over because they may lose that group of friends. But at that point, if you're really wanting those goals, then you have to go and find that group and be willing to be putting yourself out there to find that. Because that support, you have to sometimes leave that. And if it's a negative place, then you kind of have to want to leave that community to find a better, healthier community. I don't want to say better, but better.
It's what happens.
Yeah.
You're going to find that maybe your group of people gets smaller, but stronger.
Yeah.
Right?
And you're going to feel happier, healthier.
There's times where I had to back away even from family and certain really close friends. I had to do that until I was strong enough to pursue what it was that I wanted in life, at the same time. But that's what happens when you grow. We have people in our lives that serve certain moments in our lives. Certain transitions in our lives. And then we have other people who serve other transitions in our lives, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Like my ex-husband's amazing. We still get along amazing, but he is the father of my children. Do you know what I mean? Like you're same for you. Mm-hmm. And then things happen and you move on, and then whatever the case is, right? Like, it's not a bad thing. It's life.
Yeah. I think rolling with the punches and definitely being able to be like, when you guys can, and I mean, I think at TCF, and I'm going to kind of go with a couple what Karen and Dawn just said. I think you guys, if you guys find that group of people that are there to support you, and you really do, like Tanya said, you have that person that believes in you, and then eventually you believe in yourself enough, mm-hmm. and you guys can create that, then it doesn't matter if you guys are whatever you are. You learn to fall in love with yourself because you're seeing yourself through other people's eyes. I like how Dan said, like, if we never had mirrors, we'd never know what we look like, but the people in our lives would mirror us back. Mm-hmm. Right. So if you have amazing people, which I totally do in my life, that's a great mirror, I think, of my personality, is to be able to see everybody that I have in my life. And then that's the same with you guys. If you guys can look at what the people you're surrounding yourself with and the people that you have in your life, and you can see that, that's a direct reflection of your personality. So if you have these people and you're like, I cannot imagine my life without that person, then just think about what you've done and put that out there. That's all of you. And for some people, they shit all over that. And
didn't I give you guys an exercise a couple weeks ago or a week ago to make a list of 5 people whose life you impact positively on a daily basis? Just
it might have been the second
by
podcast.
Being you.
Yeah.
So your kids are positively impacted just because you're you. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's a coworker, maybe it's your best friend, maybe it's somebody who you inspire all the time. Make a list of those people and remind yourself, listen, I really don't need to fucking change because I'm pretty amazing the way I am.
Yep.
But I'm going to take care of myself and I'm going to honor my body and I'm going to honor like this vessel, right?
Yep.
And even if, you know, there's a lot of people who honor their vessel through diet and not the gym. But clearly you guys enjoy the gym because you're there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me personally, Karen, speaking to your comment, Karen says we are marketed to sell an idea of what a fit person looks like. Fitness models don't even look like fitness models when they get out of bed in the morning. Yeah, absolutely. So I don't have cable. I haven't had cable in forever. I won't watch ads. I won't put myself, that's just a personal decision of mine. But for me, like, voluptuous, strong bodies is where it's at. That's what I want. That's my idea of but that's why I'm at the gym.
No, I mean, there's no such thing as a fitness model body. There's no such thing as a bikini body. And I get what you're saying.
I know I know a fitness model.
Okay, but
a couple of them, and they don't enjoy a lot of things because they're so restricted.
And here's I knew a girl who did fitness modeling as well. And to hear what they had to go through about 2 weeks before their competition, it's like, you guys, it's hard on the body and it's very restrictive and it's very regimented in specific ways. And you're not, for me, in a way that you're just really not honoring what your body actually needs and desires to really want. Because are you really having fun if you're being completely restricted to what, like 100 calories or 300 calories, what some of these people have to have like a week before? You know, like how are you feeding your body and how are you fueling it? How are you, first of all, how are you functioning?
But having said that, guys, in the same sentence, you guys are going to think I'm nuts. If that's what brings them happiness,
absolutely,
and that's their passion,
absolutely,
then who the fuck are we to judge them?
And of course, and I don't mean to come across as being judgy, but it's definitely a thing where, you know, a lot of people do it to have that, and they don't enjoy the process, and they hate it, and then when they're done, they gorge, and then they go into that kind of like overeating cycle, right? Because they've been restricted for so long, and it's really, yeah, like Karen's saying, it's not sustainable. So what you guys want to do when you guys are in those fearful moments of being either in a gym, so if this would be the advice I'd give to Sierra, I would definitely say stuff like, how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
How bad do you want it?
How badly do you want it?
Do you want to change that part of your life? And then eventually maybe that's a small opening in the door to create other things where like once you've opened that door, then more things are going to come to you, right? More opportunities, more community, more people in your life. And then you just really start to see that reflection of who you are in other people. And I think that's where you kind of start to grow with that. Mm-hmm. That's my personal thought on that. And then I think when you guys are also in those spots and you know that you've got things that you want to face and you want to, you know, either let go of or deal with or whatever. What was it that he said? He had the 3 letters there. Something deal and heal.
Heal, and I don't know. I don't remember. Does anybody else remember?
I don't remember.
But basically what he was saying was, like, how I share it in my practice is you need to admit where you are. You need to admit where you want to be. And then you need to make an action plan and take action to get there. So the part that's really challenging for us is actually facing where we are, because mm-hmm. that means bringing it all up and looking it in the face. Yeah. And then the next challenging part is admitting, vocalizing, telling other people what we want. Yeah. That's scary, man. Like if I were to sit here and go, okay, well, my goal weight is 145. Well, I'm facing now judgment from other people saying that's too small, or, you know, good luck, or what's wrong with you, or what are you going to start? You know what I mean? Like I'm opening myself up to being vulnerable there.
Yeah.
And then, but then I'm telling myself out loud what it is. When I tell another person, it becomes 80% more likely that you're going to achieve that goal. Mm-hmm. And then we become fearful of the responsibility that's attached to making that happen.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a subconscious thing.
Yeah, like I liked how when he was talking about all of this stuff, and it was if it was something really horrific that happened, and you know, you guys have, that's how you dealt with it, and that's how you've gotten through 30 years of your life, and it's totally understandable when you're that young for or whatever, whenever that stuff happened, to just, it's easier to go this way because that's just less painful than here. And I think that when you find a community that's going to support you unconditionally, and that could be anything for you guys, whatever community you guys find yourself, or part of a tribe, or whatever you want to call it. I think that if you have a place where you can feel comfortable, and then you've kind of found that spot for you, and I think that you can kind of go, okay, these people aren't going to leave me. Like, they've seen me through this, blah, 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 blah. Now it's time for me to deal with that demon that's like right over here. And I think that you guys are able to kind of allow that to come up and resurface. I have a couple of members who have texted me over the past couple months, and that's some of their biggest things is they don't want to open that door to their past. They just won't. It's sealed shut. Well, and then I'm like, well,
I'm going to throw some hard reality at everyone here. If you don't open that door, then you're not going to move past it. It's like all of my training says it. And like all of my gurus that I listen to say the same thing. And there's specific reasons why. Literally, we need to dig up the shit and just fucking face it. And guess what happens? As soon as you face it, you kiss it, you let it go, you will be so blown away at how much you let it control you prior to.
Yeah, because it's definitely a driving force behind a lot of decisions.
You can even use my coming out or whatever, for example. I literally lived in toxicity. My life was toxic. My body was toxic. My body let go on me, and it was causing major disease. And I was just living in shame and fear of what everyone else who I never even talked to was going to think or say, because I was so judging myself. And then boom, right after that, that first day there where I posted our picture.
Yes.
I swear to you right now, it's like, oh, what the fuck's the big deal? What the fuck's the big deal? You know what I mean? She's been telling me that for a long time, but it was up to me.
Yeah.
It was up to me to take that first initial step. But now looking back, I literally suffered.
Yep.
Suffered for 4 years.
And you guys have to remember what that energy is doing to you, okay? Dan hit it on the head, but I've been reading, and we've done a lot of studies with this, with the Louise Hay and stuff like that. When you guys have that energy, that toxic energy, it has to turn into something, because eventually it just sits there. And for me, I'm a firm believer that if you get an injury, like a blown out knee or something happens in your back, I think there's a lot to do with that, wherever you're storing that energy and wherever it kind of grows. Lots of hypertension, diabetes, cancer, that all grows from stress hormones and stress cells. And you guys are just throwing this energy in your body, and it doesn't do it any justice. So if you guys are hanging on to this stuff from the past and you really want to let it go, like, lock yourself in a room for a day and just let it come out.
There's a really good process you can do too. You grab a pen and a paper and you write down all of your disappointments, and don't judge yourself for feeling disappointment about it. So if you're disappointed that your dad wasn't around, write it down. You're disappointed that your mom wasn't a better mom, write it down. She's not going to see it. This is all for you. If you're disappointed that your baby daddy, blah, 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 you're disappointed that your children don't listen better, write it down. Disappointment, you didn't get that job, disappointed you didn't make that lift, disappointment you didn't did this, and that. Write all your disappointments down, and then go through them one by one. Like she said, lock yourself for a day in a room. Go through them one by one. Bring them up, acknowledge exactly how you're feeling, and then thank the experience and let it the fuck go.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that Dan had said it too, where he said, don't worry about the law of attraction and all that frou-frou, he said, for a minute. If you guys are feeling a genuine emotion, to be able to honor it. And for sure, I totally agree with that. Like, you have to feel these emotions. If you're sad, if you're mad, if you're angry, if you're pissed off because whatever. But then it's up to you guys to go, okay, well, why am I feeling that at one point, right? And that's when you kind of go, with the initial, like, well, something's obviously off inside here, but you are allowed to honor those emotions as well, because they are definitely a guide. Those emotions are definitely a guide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was good.
I think that was good.
Wait, let me see if I have any more notes.
Any more notes?
Oh, something that I took away as well. What Dan said was, you're not running out of time. Take the deadline out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was huge.
And I'm going to say this. I'm going to somehow make this into a fucking tagline or something. Oh, hey, Jessica.
Hello, Jessica.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. You got to watch the replay. Is end result, no matter what you're doing, you do it to be happy. Why do you want to be successful? Why do you want to be, I don't know, all big and buff? Why do you want to, be a fitness model for those who want to be a fitness model? Because it makes them happy. Because it makes them happy. And the more you guys give to you, the more you're going to model that shit for your kids.
Yep.
And your spouse and your loved ones. The more happy you are, the more contagious you are. Hey?
Absolutely. Well, I think so. I mean,
totally.
I
don't know about you, but when if there's gossip going on or if there's negativity going on, I'm just like,
I need to steer clear.
I go the other way.
Yeah.
I totally do.
Because it's not good energy. And thank you.
Sorry about that.
Well, at least get it.
I missed it.
Yeah, like definitely try to steer clear of all of that kind of gossip and that kind of energy, because that's stuff that gets to sit inside your energy as well. And that's the stuff that kind of, again, it builds up. And you guys have to remember you're absorbing all of this stuff. And it's not good stuff when you absorb all that hateful, negative, toxic sludge. It's not fun.
Can we talk about something completely different here for a moment?
Sure.
Let's talk about your legs.
I need to shave them.
I don't think I've ever seen
I don't think I've
legs
actually,
like that
I
before.
forgot. I've forgotten in the last little while. I'll get on them tonight.
I'm a lucky girl.
Shut up.
Okay, do you guys have any more questions? Do you guys have any more comments? I'm exhausted. You might be thinking, oh, Tanya, how come you're blah, blah, blah? Because I got my ass kicked at the gym. Today was my 4th day going to the gym.
See? It's not that I hate shaving it. I just freaking forget. Because I have literally like 5 minutes I give myself to shower. And if I'm washing my hair, then nothing else getting done.
My daughter does sugaring, just so you guys know. And I think that she's still in her not charging full price stage. So
yeah, I'm good with a razor.
I'm totally getting my legs sugared.
There you go.
Anyways, I love you guys. I love this weekly podcast that we do.
Yeah,
I need to maybe work out after the podcast, so I'm not just like
tired. But it was a laid back one. If you guys have any ideas that you guys want us to talk about in future podcasts, definitely comment below.
I don't feel like I finished chatting with Dawn. I reflected everything that she said, but
you want to talk about my legs?
Are they bad?
Are you sure? Braid those things.
Okay. No, you can't. Jerk. Let's just hold on though, because this is a really common thing for a lot of people to feel like that transition point or whatever. My biggest piece of feedback is the more comfortable you are with you, the less it'll matter.
Yeah.
The less you'll focus on what other people might be thinking in those transitions.
Yeah. I think if you could sum up this whole podcast, basically, it's, if it's all about you, and it's all about everything that you're going to, if you guys are hating on yourselves, and you're just it's always going to be hard to come into a gym. It's always going to be hard to transition. But if you guys can really learn to be okay with where you're at right now and go, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be, right? What am I supposed to learn in this moment? And then take that and go, okay, I love myself anyways. That was the biggest one. That was another one we did in the invest. I love me anyways. I love me anyways. And always remember to be kind to yourself. You're doing the best you can. You got here. Okay, now what? And then just kind of own that. And seriously, like Tanya's right. The more you guys get okay with who you are, those transitions become easier and easier and easier.
Here's another example, and I'm going to use it because it was a really big one. And that was, I would be uncomfortable around certain people. I'd be uncomfortable around them. They just don't understand me. They don't get me. They just don't understand me. And then once I was able to really be clear and really be me, I felt like I was being me, but now I'm really me, clearly. And it doesn't affect me at all. Mm-hmm. It doesn't bother me that people don't like that I do videos. It doesn't bother me that people don't like that I take photos all the time, that I document my life, that I do this. It doesn't bother me anymore. I just giggle it off, and then so do they.
Yeah. But I think the biggest transition, you got okay with who you were, and then everything else just became really easy, because now it just like before I couldn't hold her hand in public, and now we always hold hand in public, and couldn't be anywhere near her, and now well, we're doing this live. So, and
people do. They stare. They really do. They're like, but I couldn't give a shit.
I've actually only noticed ever the one dude that was standing there at the LC when we were in tuxedo.
He was like,
maybe he just thought we were a hot couple.
I think we're a hot couple.
I think so.
I think so too. I don't know about you guys. I do. Anyways, yeah. But anyways, the more comfortable you do get with you, the easier the more fun your life is going to be.
Oh, absolutely.
Love how open you are. Now.
Me too. Low battery. All right. Well, we are out of here too, Karen. So I wish you guys a thank you, Jessica.
Mwah, mwah. I love you guys.
All right, guys. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later.
ComfyMomFashions.com.
TransconaCrossFit.com.
She
doesn't even know. Bye, guys.